Okay? So you might feel as dependent as a child looking forward to seeing your mom. Or sometimes it's really like romantic or erotic. It happens. Okay? That's why also counseling room, make sure your room is a safe room. If possible, make sure there's a window. People can see what's happening inside. Okay? Not closed off, not... Okay? There must be sort of, just for your own protection, your own safety. So Robert feels towards his therapist, he loves being in therapy. It's like going back to home he never had. Her office even has a smell that he can detect just walking down the hall towards her door. Robert's really starting to fall in love with his therapist. It's like, it feels like home. The home he never had. The smell, he can detect the smell by just walking down the wall towards her office. Robert's starting to fall for this therapist. And you might not really realize it, but that's where the therapist needs to start to see different behavior. Body language, use of self. Be aware. Okay? Body language is very, very important in your counseling room. Okay? When you talk to your client, also don't be scared to say things like, I'm wondering, I see your hands moving or shaking. I'm wondering what's happening there. Can you tell me what's happening there? Or why is your foot doing that? There's a reason why people react the way they do. Or you just turned red, what's going on there? Okay. Brain facts for moving through transference. If you're in therapy, you already know that the relationship you have with your therapist is not typical of normal relationship. The focus of conversations is all about you. So we always say your client is your client. We don't worry about what's happening in the people that talk about lives. If they talk about their children, always bring it back to the client. It's always about the client. The client is the feeling. The client is a client. Okay? Like my children had an argument with me. Don't go and say, tell me about your children. Focus it on say, okay, how did you feel when your children had? What reaction did you show? Okay. So same with this. It's a different relationship. That's why we also don't want dual relationships. The dual relationship is when you
know somebody else.
You know your client, somewhere else too. So you've got this person, a client, and they're also your wife's best friend. You can't do that. I had a dual relationship a while ago with a client. It's one of our friends' daughters that came to see me. Everyone was aware of it, including my supervisor. So we talked about it. She knew I knew her parents. Her parents knew that I was seeing her. My wife knew that. So we all knew about this client, just to cover. But I also met the parents and said, listen, whatever your daughter is telling me in session, I'm not going to tell you. Don't even ask. Okay, and whatever you tell me about your daughter, out of a session, I'm going to tell your daughter. Because she's my client, not you. So that's why it's important. Make sure that you're covered. Make sure dual relationships don't really occur. It's going to happen. Especially if you live in a small town, you're the only counselor there, one of those places where everyone knows everyone, that will happen.
That's the problem. It's really hard, isn't it? Like, you know.
It is hard. That's why
and then it's like everybody knows everybody's
such a
business.
big issue.
Yeah.
Right. Good therapists rarely say anything about themselves that isn't in the service of helping the client. So that's also important. Don't tell your client too much about yourself, okay? Because that is also helping the transference thing, because they're starting to know more and more about you. Okay? It's not about you. They're not coming and paying you $120 to $150 an hour to sit there and listen about your life and who you are. Okay? They're coming to you to talk about themselves and their issues. So don't sit there and telling them about your children or your issues or whatever.
I've actually been in that situation.
Okay, I've had a therapist one day, a counsellor. I talked to him. In the end, I counselled him. But that was part of uni. We were forced to have 20 hours of counselling. So in the end, I had nothing more to say, so I sort of counselled him. Try and have 20 hours of counselling every week. Or every week, an hour of counselling for 20 weeks. You end up having nothing to say anymore. Okay. For many, therapy might be the first time in their lives they've gotten so much personal attention. There's lots of people that don't get attention. Children also don't get personal attention. Starting therapy, all the attention is on you. Be aware of that. Be aware of what's happening in your clients. Right, there's a video clip. I want to show you on, it's like an 8-minute clip on transference. So, and I hope it's going to show there. It's running. It's not running yet.
I've never heard that on the screen before.
See, the wheel is spinning up and it's not responding. I think let's go directly to YouTube. So when those of you that's doing triads at the moment, when something happens in you, in your triad, or when you counsel someone, be aware of the transference thing. There might be transference happening in you. So your client's talking about something, and something happens in you. Right? That's why we say that afterwards you're welcome to come and speak to Rick or myself and say, hey, something happened there. I don't know what happened. And we can try and guide you and help you to work out what's going on there. Let's just see if this one.
It's not responding for you.
It's very slow.
There's a lot of stuff on it.
It's very, very slow.
There's stuff on the hard drive.
It's trying to read it. It's trying to do something.
Is it on your USB?
No, it's
Check your internet.
directly from YouTube.
But you're gentle,
There we go.
Okay, that's from
not
Sopranos.
loud. Sweet sounding,
You turn the light off, please.
like a mandolin.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's unfortunate that we have to stop now, because I think it's really important we talk about this. Do you think you could come back later this afternoon? Till Tuesday. Okay?
Yeah, all right. See you Tuesday. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is.
Okay, let me talk.
No, it's not the Prozac. I dream about you. I think about you all the time. I can't get excited about any other women. There's nothing else to say. I love you.
Let me start here. I know this may be very hard for you to swallow, but you're only feeling this way because we've made such progress.
What?
I've been gentle. That's my job. I listen. That's what I do best. I've been a broad, generic, sympathetic woman to you because that's what this work calls for. You've made me all of the things you feel are missing in your wife and in your mother.
You're making me out to be some fucking mama's boy. I'm a man. And you're a woman. End of story. And this crap about Freud and every boy wanted to have sex with his mother, that's not gonna fly here.
I didn't say that. I want to make sure we understand each other.
Yeah, we understand each other. You don't love me.
Okay.
Lots of transference there.
There's lots of transfers happening there.
Mm.
So,
Because he told her that he loved her.
yeah. Do you think it's the maternal one?
Yes.
Because she said, I'm like your mother. I'm listening. I'm whatever. So listening, caring, nurturing the mother.
Mm.
So be aware of this. She actually did stop him. She's talking to him about it. She's probably exploring what's happening, what's going on. She knows already what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to, you see me as your mother.
Mm.
So that's great. So be aware of this. Be aware of this in your practice. Be aware of this in triads. In everyday life, it happens to all of us. So next time we're going to talk about counter-transference, what happens when you, as the counselor, transfer back.
When you do that?
I just need to look at the schedule. But because I wanted to do transference and counter-transference today, but it's a big thing to do both. So next time I'll do counter, because
What's on tomorrow?
tomorrow we have Tracy.
Oh, okay.
Tracy's doing health,
Nutrition.
nutrition.
Oh, cool.
So that's cool. And we're going to have healthy food tomorrow. All right, thank you.
Yeah, but there's no KFC tomorrow.
There's no KFC tomorrow or oily fish.
Or fish and chips either.
Right?